The night my son was born premature, I texted my family. He's in the NICU. We're scared. My brother reacted with a thumbs up emoji. Nobody visited. A month later, while I was still living between the hospital and home, my phone suddenly filled with missed calls. My mom's message read, "I need help now." I just answered something she didn't expect at all. My name is Lauren, and the moment I knew my family didn't actually care about me was when my brother responded to news of my dying newborn with a thumbs up emoji. I was 27 and 32 weeks pregnant when Derek walked out. Just left. 1 week before our son was due, he packed his things while I was at work and texted, "I can't do this. I'm not ready to be a dad." That was it. 7 days before I was supposed to become a mother, and suddenly I was doing it completely alone. I didn't have time to fall apart. My doctor kept warning that stress could trigger early labor, so I swallowed everything and kept going. What choice did I have? Then that Tuesday night in March, I felt a sharp pain in the grocery store parking lot. I knew something was wrong. I drove myself to the hospital, and 2 hours later, they were rushing me into an emergency C-section. Carter was born at 11:47 p.m., weighing 3 pounds 11 ounces. He didn't cry. That silence was the most terrifying sound I'd ever heard. They took him before I could even touch him. When I finally saw him in the NICU at 3 in the morning, he was covered in wires and tubes. A ventilator was breathing for him because his lungs weren't developed enough. The nurse explained terms I'd never wanted to know: respiratory distress, oxygen saturation, apnea monitors. All I could think was, my baby can't breathe on his own. I was terrified and completely alone. So I reached for my phone with shaking hands and texted our family group chat. "Carter was born premature tonight. He's in the NICU. We're scared. He's on a ventilator." My brother Jason responded first. Thumbs up. Just that. A thumbs up emoji. I stared at it, convinced I was seeing wrong. 3 hours later, my sister Melissa wrote, "Oh wow, hope he's okay." My dad sent, "Tough situation. Keep us posted." My mom called once, asked if I needed anything, and when I said I didn't know yet, she said she had book club and would check in later. Book club. My son was on a ventilator. Nobody came that night. Or the next day. Or the entire first week while Carter fought for his life. I lived in that hospital, sleeping in a chair next to his incubator. I watched my son stop breathing 4 times in those first 10 days. For times I saw nurses rush over while my heart tried to break through my chest. The NICU staff became my family. Teresa, the night nurse, brought me blankets at 2 a.m. Marcus taught me how to change Carter's tiny diaper through the incubator ports. They celebrated when he gained 2 ounces. My actual family. Jason posted Instagram stories from basketball games. Melissa planned my niece's birthday party in the group chat, discussing cake flavors right below my updates about Carter's oxygen levels. My parents texted every few days, "How's the baby?" I'd update them. They'd respond, "Good to hear." Do you think that's what family does? Week 3, Carter came off the ventilator. He still needed oxygen support, but he was breathing more on his own. The doctor said he was doing remarkably well. I was proud and exhausted and so lonely I could barely stand it. I'd hold his tiny hand through the incubator ports and tell him stories about how we were going to be okay, even though I had no idea if that was true. Then, exactly 1 month after Carter was born, my phone exploded. 7 missed calls from my mom. 4 from my dad. 3 from Melissa. 2 from Jason. Texts flooding in, "Call immediately, emergency, mom needs you now." Someone had to be dead. I called my mom back, hands shaking. "Lauren, finally. I need your help. I need money right away. The insurance denied my knee replacement. I need $15,000 by the end of the month or they'll cancel the surgery." Not dead. Just money. "Mom, I don't have that. I'm on unpaid leave." "Carter's medical bills." "You have your savings." "I know you do. Lauren, I'm your mother. I need this surgery. I can barely walk." "My savings." The emergency fund I'd built for 5 years. The only thing standing between me and disaster because Derek left and I was covering everything alone. That money is for Carter. For when he comes home. I need. So what, I'm supposed to just suffer? Live in pain because you decided to have a baby with some man who abandoned you. I felt those words land like a slap. Where were you? My voice shook. Where were any of you when Carter was born? When he stopped breathing? When I spent a month alone in this hospital? We have our own lives, Lauren. We can't drop everything. And now I'm asking for help when I actually need it and you're going to be selfish. Selfish. That word just hung there. I looked through the window at my son, still so small in his incubator. "I can't give you that money. I'm sorry, but I can't." The silence was ice cold. "Fine. Don't bother coming to Sunday dinner anymore. Don't bother calling. If you can't help your own mother after everything I've done for you, then I know where I stand." Your family will remember this. She hung up. And what my family did next? Well, that's when I learned who actually had my back. After my mom hung up, I stood in that hospital hallway staring at my phone, waiting for her to call back and apologize. She never did. Instead, 2 days later, my cousin accidentally sent me a screenshot of a new group chat. Family updates. Everyone was in it except me. My parents, Jason, Melissa, my Aunt Karen, Uncle Pete, even my grandmother. My mom had written, Lauren has made her priorities clear. She's chosen to turn her back on family when we need her most. I think we should give her the space she seems to want. Melissa replied, honestly, I'm not surprised. She's been distant since she got pregnant. I took a screenshot before my cousin deleted it. Do you think I should have? That Sunday, my grandmother texted, we're having family dinner today. You're not welcome until you apologize to your mother and make things right. I didn't respond. Carter came home 3 days later. 6 weeks old, 5 pounds, still needing oxygen and a monitor that alarmed if he stopped breathing. I did the 2-hour discharge class alone, loaded everything into my car alone, carried him and all his equipment up to my apartment alone. That first night his monitor went off at 2 a.m. He was fine, just a loose sensor, but I sat on the floor crying because I realized this was my life now. Just me and Carter. Except the next morning my Aunt Patricia showed up with groceries. I barely knew Patricia. She was my dad's younger sister who'd moved across town 15 years ago after some family argument nobody talked about. We'd barely spoken at gatherings. I follow the hospital's NICU page, she said, unpacking bags. Saw Carter graduated. Figured you could use help. She stayed all day helping with feeding schedules and the oxygen machine. As she was leaving, she said, your mom called me. Told me not to help you. Said you'd made your choice. My stomach dropped. And you came anyway? Lauren, I know what it's like when this family decides you're the problem. I've been the outsider for 15 years because I wouldn't give your grandfather money for his gambling debts. They did the same thing to me, family meeting, intervention, exile. He squeezed my hand. You're not wrong for protecting your son. The next week her husband Marcus came and installed grab bars in my bathroom, fixed my broken cabinet, assembled Carter's crib. Patricia said you could use a hand. These people I barely knew were showing up for me in ways my immediate family never had. Meanwhile, complete silence from everyone else. My mom's surgery got rescheduled. She posted on Facebook that my Aunt Karen had loaned her the money. Her post said, so grateful for real family who show up when it matters. Jason, Melissa, and my dad all commented with hearts. That hurt. I won't lie. But Carter was thriving. He gained weight, came off oxygen, started smiling real smiles. Patricia and Marcus were there for all of it. They came to checkups, brought dinner twice a week, babysat so I could shower. They became my family. 2 weeks before I had to return to work, I got a call from the hospital billing department. We're calling about your outstanding balance of $42,000 for Carter's NICU stay. Your insurance covered a portion, but $42,000. I had $8,000 in savings. Rent was $1,400. Daycare would be $1,200. I made $52,000 a year. The math didn't work. I did something I swore I wouldn't do. I called my mom. Mom, I just got the hospital bill. $42,000. I don't know what to do. I can't afford this in daycare and, well, if you'd helped me with my surgery, maybe I'd feel more inclined to help you now. I pulled the phone away and stared at it. Are you serious? You made a choice, Lauren. Actions have consequences. Maybe this will teach you about family loyalty. This is your grandson, Mom. He's a baby. I'm sorry you're struggling, but I can't help someone who wouldn't help me. I hope you figure it out. She hung up. I sat there holding Carter, crying quietly. What kind of grandmother does that? That night, Patricia came by with dinner. She took one look at me and said, what happened? I told her everything. She pulled out her phone and called Marcus. Can you come over? We need to talk. 20 minutes later, they were at my kitchen table. How much do you need? Marcus asked. No, you've already done so much. How much, Lauren? $42,000. They looked at each other, having one of those silent married couple conversations. We can help with 10, Patricia said. And I know some people who might help with more. I started crying. Why? You barely know me. Because someone should have been there from the beginning. Because Carter deserves a chance and you deserve support. That's what family actually means, Lauren. Not guilt trips and conditions. Just showing up. Then Patricia said something that surprised me. There's someone else who's been asking about you. Someone who wants to help but wasn't sure if you'd accept it. Who? Your Uncle Raymond. My brother. He heard what happened through the family grapevine and he's furious with your parents. I barely remembered Uncle Raymond. He'd left for California when I was a kid after some massive fight with my dad. They hadn't spoken in 20 years. He wants to call you, Patricia said. Would that be okay? What happened when he called changed everything. Uncle Raymond called the next morning while I was feeding Carter. Lauren, it's your Uncle Raymond. Patricia gave me your number. I hope that's okay. His voice was warm but unfamiliar. I had maybe 3 memories of him from childhood. A tall man with a loud laugh, and then he was just gone from family gatherings. Hi, Uncle Raymond. Yeah, it's okay. I heard what's been happening. With Carter, with your family. All of it. He paused. I'm sorry they did this to you. Something about the way he said it made my throat tight. Patricia told you about the hospital bill? She did. And I want to help. But first, I need you to understand why I've been gone all these years. 20 years ago, he told the family he was engaged to a man named David. My grandfather exploded. Called a family meeting, demanded Raymond fix himself. My dad, Raymond's own brother, sided with my grandfather. Said Raymond was choosing a lifestyle over family. Patricia was the only one who stood by me, Raymond said. Everyone else cut me off. I moved to California, built a life with David, and we haven't spoken since. They told you I abandoned the family, didn't they? Yeah. The truth is, I set a boundary. I said I wouldn't apologize for who I am, and they made me choose. I looked down at Carter. They're doing the same thing to me. I know. That's why I'm calling. Lauren, I want to pay off your hospital bill. All of it. I almost dropped the phone. What? No, I can't. I can afford it. David and I own a tech company. $42,000 won't break us, but it's breaking you. Let me help. We barely know each other. Why would you do this? Because I know what it's like to be on the outside of that family. I know what it's like when they decide you're the problem for setting a boundary. Let me be there for you the way I wish someone had been there for me. I was crying. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Yes. Thank you. Good. I'll wire the money tomorrow. And Lauren, David and I are flying out next month. I want to meet my great-nephew. The hospital bill was paid within 48 hours. 0 balance. I could breathe again. 3 weeks later, Raymond and David showed up at my apartment with gifts for Carter. A handmade quilt, a silver rattle, a savings bond. Raymond held Carter and cried. They stayed for a week, helped me prep for work, painted Carter's nursery, took me to dinner while Patricia babysat. For the first time in months, I felt like I had family again. Their last night, over Chinese takeout, I asked, "Do you ever miss them?" I miss who I thought they were. But the actual people? Oh. Their love came with conditions. He looked at me. Do you want to apologize for protecting your son? No. Then there's nothing to fix. They need to fix themselves. Months passed. I heard nothing from my parents, Jason or Melissa. I saw their Facebook posts. Birthday parties, holidays. My life had been erased. Then 6 months after Carter came home, Jason called. Lauren, Mom's in the hospital. She had a fall, broke her hip. It's bad and she's asking for you. I almost hung up. Why would she ask for me? She made it clear I'm not family. Lauren, please. She's really hurt. Can you just come? I thought about it for exactly 5 seconds. No. What? She told me I wasn't welcome. She refused to help me when Carter almost died. So no, I'm not coming. You're really going to be like this? She's our mother. And Carter is her grandson, and she didn't care when he was fighting for his life. Where were you, Jason? Where were any of you? Silence. Tell Mom I hope she recovers. But I'm not coming. I have a son to take care of. I hung up. 2 days later, my dad showed up at my apartment. I opened the door. He looked older than I remembered. Dad. Can I come in? He walked in and saw Carter in his playpen, 7 months old now, babbling at his toys. He's gotten so big. My dad stared at him. Lauren, I came to ask you to visit your mother. She's asking for you. She's not doing well, and I think seeing you would help. No. Lauren. Do you know what day Carter came home from the hospital? He looked confused. What? What day did your grandson come home from the NICU? After 6 weeks fighting to survive. He didn't answer. You don't know. Because you didn't ask. Mom called me selfish for not giving her money while I was sleeping next to my dying baby. Jason sent a thumbs up emoji. And you sent texts like I was giving weather updates. We were giving you space. No. You didn't care until you needed something from me. Now Mom's hurt and suddenly I'm family again? That's not how this works. My dad looked at Carter and something shifted in his face. I'm sorry, he said quietly. You're right. We weren't there. I don't have an excuse. I appreciate that. But I'm still not coming. Mom made it clear I'm not her family. I'm respecting her wishes. He nodded, then pulled out his wallet and took out an old photo. Me as a baby, and he was holding me, smiling. I forgot what it felt like. How scary it was when you were born 6 weeks early. You were in the NICU for 3 weeks. Your mom and I barely slept. We were terrified every single day. I stared at him. I was premature? You don't remember us telling you? He looked at Carter. Your mom said it was the worst time of her life. All she did was sit by your incubator. And we didn't come when your son was born the same way. I didn't even think about it. For a moment I saw actual remorse. I can't fix what we did, he said. But I want you to know I see it now. I see what we took from you. He set the photo on my counter. Your mom won't apologize. He's too proud. But I'm apologizing. For all of it. For not being there. For not standing up for you. He left. 2 weeks later my mom came home from the hospital. They didn't ask me to help. A month after that, on Carter's first birthday, my apartment was full. Patricia and Marcus, Raymond and David, work friends, the NICU nurses. We had cake and Carter smashed his face into a cupcake and everyone laughed. My phone buzzed. A text from my dad. Happy birthday to Carter. You're a good mother, Lauren. Better than I was a father. I didn't respond right away. I just watched my son surrounded by people who actually showed up for us. Later that night I texted back. Thank you. He's doing great. We both are. 3 dots appeared then. I'm glad. You both deserve that. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But it was something. Raymond had told me, you get to decide what family means now. You get to build it yourself. And looking around at the photos Patricia had framed, at Raymond's handmade quilt, at the smoke detector Marcus installed, I realized I already had. My family hadn't come when I needed them. But other people had. And maybe that's what family really means. Not blood, not obligation, not guilt. Just showing up. Just being there. Just choosing each other. Carter started babbling from his crib. I scooped him up, held him close. It's just you and me, buddy, I whispered. But we've got good people. We've got real family. And that's enough. So that's my story. My family turned their backs when my son was fighting for his life. But Patricia, Marcus, Raymond, and David showed me what family really means. Did I do the right thing refusing to visit my mom? I still don't know. What do you think? Would you have gone to the hospital? If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed it, please like this video. And if something didn't sit right, share that too. I want to hear all perspectives. Thank you for listening.